Time to move on to Catalin. Next speaker is Catalin that works at Vismas as product security engineer and is specialized on infrastructure and product security, along with a strong focus on security operations. Catalin is also the WASP Team Isoara chapter leader and accepted our challenge to speak at BSidesPorto about how to scale a big bounty program. Catalin.
Yeah, thank you. So let me share my screen. One sec. Yep. Okay, are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Something moving.
Perfect. So first of all, I'm really glad to be here at the first BSidesPorto edition, and hope that maybe in the future we will meet in person after the pandemic ends, of course. But who knows how this will go. So today I will speak about scaling a bug bounty program from scratch. First of all, who I am. I am Catalin Curelaru. I'm not having a developer background. I am having a system engineering and a networking background. And in the last couple of years, I've been specialized in doing lots of product security stuff in Visma, where we have lots of developers, over 2,000 developers in many countries, and also we have lots of service delivery teams, which is quite interesting based on the approach that we have, because we are a company of companies, small companies. We are a big fish in a small lake. Besides that, I'm the chapter leader of WASP Team Isoara, where I can say that I aim to create a strong local security community, because we all want more products that are secure, and we all want an environment that could be developed into something nice. Besides that, a couple of passions that I have, like cycling, reading, and sometimes breaking a couple of stuff. It doesn't matter what stuff, but a couple of stuff. So the story begins with once upon a time in a far, far away galaxy, between some forces. But okay, just kidding. It's not that kind of story, and definitely is not that kind of battle of forces. Sometimes there is definitely a battle of forces, but there is another story between those battles. So bug bounty, what it is, and what can we achieve with it. Most of you probably know about what bug bounty is, but the story is about bug bounty and the tips and tricks that you can on how you can scale it from the start, and the security posture that you will need from your applications to have. Usually when talking about bug bounties, we hear talks about hackers, especially from the hackers' perspective, not only from their side, but I think that we should also concentrate from the other side, from the company's perspective, the challenges that they have to scale it and to give those awards to the hackers. So bug bounties, what is it? Most probably, you know, you heard about HackerOne. But of course there are other platforms like Bugcrowd, Integrity, CNAC, very big platforms. But today I will focus more on HackerOne because in our journey in Visma, we've chosen HackerOne as a bug bounty platform. So bug bounty, what it is? It's basically a crowdsourced community where you can gather lots of hackers around the world. And those are very specialized hackers with specialized skills depending on the sectors. For example, you can have experts on Java or other languages. Also, for example, one of the strengths of the bug bounties is that the testing it occurs is that you will pay for those bounties, those holes that you have into your applications. And you will pay only for what you have in those applications. Basically, in bug bounty, you have two options. You have public bug bounty and private bug bounty. In the private one, you invite only the hackers that you want. Only a limited amount of hackers. You can invite, 10, 20, 100, 1,000 or more. And of course, there is two options for managed or not managed. What means managed? Managed, it means that it's managed by the platform. If you choose, for example, Integrity, they will manage your reports in the first triaging part. If you choose, for example, HackerOne, they will manage the first reports, and they will see if those reports are valid or not and comply with the policy. If you choose to not go with the managed by the platform, then you'll need to do all the work to triage and to do the initial assessment based on the policy that you have, and after that to go deeper with all the work for validation, replying to the hackers, replying to the service delivery team, and also to reproduce the POC that the hacker is providing. So why you want to do this? Bug bounty, basically, it's a really great and proven way of battle of testing, let's say like that, of a service, with ethical hackers around the world who will pay to report security vulnerabilities to us. The strength of the bug bounty program is with the number of eyes and expertise in the techniques and technologies used here in the bug bounty program that the hackers will provide. So if you have more hackers, more findings, you will be at a very good posture of security. So you will have a better security. If, for example, your service is on the internet, most probably it will get hacked anyway. So by utilizing this, you will receive reports of vulnerabilities by ethical hackers in order to improve the security in your services. So a couple of things that needs to be mentioned is that we actually live in a crowdsourced security area. These days, things are a little bit different, and on the security scene as well. So no longer we rely only on the tools and on the methodologies and penetration tests. We rely also on the community of security researchers. And for example, we also rely on cyber threat intelligence, which is also one important aspect into security. Besides that, I want to mention that the world is changing, and what you can see here is that most of you probably recognize a couple of people from this picture, hopefully, because these are well-known hackers, and we can see now hackers at a live event. where they were hacking specific targets of a company that then paid out a bunch of bounties for the findings they found. This is real powerful, because perhaps one day your company or you can show a picture similar to this and tell your customers that here are some of the security researchers you used to secure your product. But that these are not all of them. This is really important, since all of them couldn't fit into the picture. Of course, besides your regular security team, which is mandatory. Then maybe you are able to share values and get an emotional investment from them, from your customers. You might even won a few hearts to increase the funding. The world is changing, actually. So like you see in this picture, this is the biggest step into the bug bounty, because only the big players into the market are doing this. So I hope that we share values and this can be your dream, or maybe even your reality. Recently there was an event like this for a real big payment company. So this went really good, but it wasn't due to the pandemic. It wasn't live hacking on person, but it was real cool, because they found lots of bugs. Okay, sounds really cool now. The next question maybe for you is that, can I just start? Can I just, don't know, jump into it? Of course, yes, you can jump into it if you have lots of money to burn, if you have lots of money from your investors or from your board. Otherwise, no, it's not indicated. The first recommendation is to build an AppSec program. So to start our journey, I will tell you about how we started in Visma. We started really small in October 2016 to a small company, because we are a company of companies. So we started with a company in Finland with a private program through HackerOne. So we choose at that moment, we have chosen only HackerOne. There were multiple assessments, but the latest assessment was that HackerOne is the best. Went a couple of years that we figured out that we need to scale it to go, because the company got bigger and bigger, and we figured out that we need to scale it to include lots of services, to include lots of products that we deliver to the customers. And how can this be achieved? To be with all the services public through HackerOne or to other platforms. We've chosen in the beginning only 4 assets and 4 service delivery teams. So it was pretty small, only in Finland, but there was a dream, like someone said, there was a dream. So why we want to do this? Are we crazy? Maybe yes, but actually no, because all the big companies that are in the market are already doing this. So companies like Facebook, Apple, Microsoft are doing the bug bounty, and they are rewarding the hackers for doing this with high amounts of money. So we wanted to start small, but to go to the next level. So we are on the internet, we are getting hacked anyway. So why not to pay for those findings if, of course, the hackers will find the bugs before the actual black hats will do. So I like to tend that we will get minimized the risk of being pwned, but I like to think about the bug bounty as a an insurance that we play, a preemptive insurance program. So a couple of years ago, we developed inside our company, we developed an application security program, which we think at this moment that it's one of the most advanced and interesting security programs in Europe, based on the methodology and the approach that we have. And what was the approach? We targeted, of course, security, privacy, and a complete transparency. That was our main target. So through this, we developed the WASP, like we like to call it, the Visma Application Security Program, based on the software security maturity model from the bottom-up approach. The main services that we offer to the companies that we have, because like I said, we are a company of companies, small companies, we offered services like security trainings. We offered like SSA. So here you can see lots of acronyms. Most of them, maybe you are thinking, okay, what's with PSA, what is RA, what's with MAVA, for example. So for example, we delivered services and solutions to the teams, like security self-assessment, like privacy self-assessment, like risk assessment, array, like security and privacy incident response. We've built a product security operations center for incident response. We've delivered cyber threat intelligence to all the services. We also delivered to the teams if they want to onboard for the source code analyze for the SAST. We delivered the dynamic application security tests if they want to onboard. Also, we have MAVA, which is manual application assessment. Also, automated third-party vulnerability service. And the last one, which is more interesting and which gives you the posture of your application, is the security maturity index. If you're on board to many things, like I've mentioned, and if you remediated all the issues that you have, or let's say are into your backlog, you'll get an index. You'll get a level of maturity into security. So in this short animated GIF, our internal maturity index tool is displayed, and we are looking at one of our products. We can see that they have over 1,000 penalty points. Penalty points are given basically when the team fails to do some tests. At current, they need to go into details of the product, and then we will check on details to drill into the details of specific vulnerabilities. In this case, there are just recommendations, but the same process can be repeated for any product, overviewed to any vulnerability. This is what we are able to do, for example, in Visma for full transparency from top level to the way down, and also from the bottom to up. Because in this way, we will see if the application, for example, it's platinum, if it's golden tier, and what is the required tier. And if they remediated all the issues that they have, then yeah, they are way good to go to the bug bounty. So scaling and the story goes on. Are you ready now to go for bug bounty? So how can an application be ready for bug bounty? If the application have all the prerequisites from the application program, if it's enrolled or not, to all the services that your security team can offer, and have zero vulnerabilities, zero known issues, then of course you can say with confidence that is ready for the private program. Another important topic in the success, it will be the engagement that you will take for time to period time to respond, time to fix, and more important from the hacker perspective, time to bounty. If you have 4 days, for example, that will be really cool from the hacker perspective, because they'll be more engaged. This creates engagement from the hacker's perspective, and they will be motivated to go deeper. If you have many assets, they will dig and find other vulnerabilities. So the story begins in January 2019. We've managed to get approval for funding. A colleague of ours managed to get all the fundings. We had 10 of the best hackers in the world invited. Many hackers were invited to the private program, and started with one team, one service delivery team with 3 assets in scope. In the first day, we received 7 reports. I think that the main thing for success is transparency. So transparency with the hackers, disclosure of vulnerabilities, also transparent with the service delivery teams, so that they will learn from it. If they will learn from it, then they will not create other issues after they will release other features. So this is really, really important. So what are the responsibilities of the product security operations teams here? Basically, our approach was to have a program managed, to have a managed program by ourselves, not by HackerOne. So we wanted to do this because we were thinking that it's really important that we will keep the communication and also the engagement with the hackers. So we were the line between service delivery teams and the hackers. Also, we managed the payment for the hackers, which was really important, or at least it seems that it's important. So what happened next? We added more hackers month after month. We added multiple assets. We increased the support and engagement through social media, to Twitter, to Slack, because we've seen that constant communication with the hackers, it provides engagement, and it provides actual digging into the findings and into the application that we have that are public. So I think that we can say that we have a very good dialogue. Sometimes I know that there are different opinions about managed by the platform or managed by yourself. One of the challenges is that you receive lots of not really good reports in the first phase. But if you are constant with your replies and with your manner of replies, then finally you will get what you'll need, really cool reports with really cool findings. So after January, we received quite an interesting report. For example, in the same day, we received this message, and what's really interesting with this message is that the same guy told us that he tried to get back to hacking on of our teams, but got discouraged because there is absolutely nothing to be found. And after a couple of more minutes, hours, that was it. 1,000 bounties. So what's maybe the most important thing for the hackers, from the hackers' perspective? It's the bounty amounts. So we were thinking to have a reasonable bounty amounts based on the budget that we had. For the critical ones, 3,000, high for 1,500 for medium. That's not really high when you compare with other programs that are paying much in comparison with us. But we've had lots of reports and lots of issues discovered. Like you can see for iders, you can see cross-site scripting, stored, cross-site request forgeries. So we had quite interesting findings this year. One important stat that I want to show you is the journey that we had from beginning of 2019 till this quarter. So this is really important because we had quite a good engagement. So if you can see in the beginning, we had only 12 submissions. Okay, of course, our team was not so big at that moment. We are glad that we didn't receive 300 reports in Q1, but you can see also the number of reports, you can see the valid numbers, and you can see also how many, what was the percentage of the valid ones. Of course, the percentage decreased, for example, this year, but also the number of reports increased a lot. So this is really important for us, that we are targeted by the hackers and we received quality. And maybe you are asking, okay, what changed in our landscape? Why we received this year so many reports, or why we decreased the valid percentage? There is an answer, a good answer. This year, we get mature with our assets. We went from private bug bounty program to the public one. So in the public, everyone can hit you, everyone can target you. So there will be more noise, and you need to be prepared for it, of course. But after you are getting prepared and everything it's scheduled, you'll know what to do. Of course, if an asset is getting few reports, if it's mature enough, then it's a good approach to go to the public to be targeted by everyone. Because in the private, it's more up to you if you want to invite 10 hackers, if you want to invite 100 hackers, if you want to invite 1,000 or 10,000 hackers. So this is more up to you. So the next, maybe you are thinking what, okay, what is the benefit of this, or what is the cost of this? There is a real cost of this, because we paid quite a lot of money. So you need to have good amount of money prepared, because like you can see here, from last year to now, we had over 1,000 reports, 1,200 reports, but it's the total amount of bounties is what matters. So we paid quite a good amount of bounties. Based on the conversation that we had with the hackers, what's really important is how fast we paid bounties. And we are paying in 2 days, maximum 3 days, the bounties. So this is real cool, because we have a very fast triaging and we are paying the hackers extremely fast. So there is a very good engagement between us and hackers. So this is cool, and this is definitely a recommendation for you if you want to run a bug bounty. So if you can see here, it costs lots of money. So what's the purpose of, what's the benefit? So of course there are benefits, because you have lots of cool bugs. For example, we received a really cool bug based on server request forgery, and that was chained with an HTML injection. Was really cool, because based on this, we received quite an interesting response. So this was the report that we received with the endpoint, with all the steps, with all the POC, and this was leaked. So this quite hurts, because we leaked the AVS key, but we are glad that we find it before, and not we, but the hackers found it before the actual black hat hackers would find it. So there are benefits into doing this, definitely. I will highly recommend it because you'll find all the cool stuff before other malicious entities will target you. The second one, it was an RC, believe it or not. Yeah, RC. You know what's an RC? Is it remote code execution? And yeah, we had it, unfortunately, of course. So we had this. We received the report. We were quite concerned when we tried to reproduce it, to reproduce the POC, and to see if it's valid or not. And when we've seen that, oh, damn, that's real valid. We've seen the request. We've seen what we can have to the code execution, and really worked. Unfortunately, of course, it was a critical vulnerability, and we paid the amount of money for the critical one. So major takeaways here from our story. The first one, or maybe the first important one, it will be just do it. Just do it. It will be fail. Maybe you will fail in the beginning, but it will be a good journey for you. Just do it, but of course, just only if you have money. Only if you have money, if you are making the assessment, because there are some key points that needs to be considered before that. So you'll need to have a very strong application security program. Start small with baby steps, but start, let's say, that's one of the most important things. And what can I only say is that you need to be confident to not have too many issues. Only after that you will need to go, for example, to the private program, and only after that to the public. So another important aspect is to add multiple assets. If you add all your public assets, then it will be good, because you'll have a better posture. Also, knowledge is the key. Triagers, for example, should have at least a basic understanding of every vulnerability type. Otherwise, it will be very hard to determine the correct severity of the report. We can't know everything for sure. That's right. But the great attention for detail for researchers spent writing their reports helps to understand and also assess the correct impact. If a new vulnerability, for example, type is released or found, a new CVE, is the responsibility of the triager to understand this new vulnerability type. And if you want to go really big, then you can host a live hacking event like I've showed you, but that will cost you lots of money. I can tell you that for sure. Of course, after a proper assessment, maybe it's worth to pay the bug bounty as an insurance, just to not be hacked. Strong success factors, it's transparency and communication, also engagement. Be communicative and transparent with the researchers and service delivery teams. It's important for us to feel that researchers feel like they are talking with a person, not someone sort of a robot. For every decision we make as a triager, a detailed explanation must be given to the researcher. That's highly important, and it's really important. Also, the service delivery teams, for them, it's important to assess it properly. if, for example, they need attention to fully understand the impact of the vulnerability, I highly encourage you to schedule a call with them to just make sure that they fully understand it, and they can reproduce it, and it's understood. So life goes on. You'll have more secure applications. You'll be more confident based on your findings that you'll have into your bug bounty program. If you have of course, all your public assets to the bug bounty public program, developers will get into the hacker's mindset. And what's more important, all the features that the developers will design, it will be secure by design. Also, it will be security a top level priority. So everyone will be scared, but that's good. So thank you for your attention, and please wake up.
Thank you, Catalin. Thank you for sharing your experiences on how to improve application security through bug bounty programs. Very, very nice to hear that experience. Time for question and answers. At least looks like any question appeared yet by public. Okay, no from here. I have here two questions from the team. How are companies and bug hunters protected by these platforms, initiatives from the legal point of view? Because an attacker can be in different countries, the company can be in different countries, the admin or the platform could be also on different countries. And on your experience, all those legal questions are being dealt with.
Yeah, so there is a very good question, because for example, I have both experiences as a guy that protects the companies, but also a guy that it's targeting the companies. You will adhere to the platform policies. So, for example, if HackerOne it's in America, you will adhere to their policies. If Integrity is in Belgium, then you will adhere to their policies, and you will acknowledge that, okay, I agree with your policies, and I will comply with your policies. More than that, it's highly important for the security researchers, the hackers. It's really important to read the policies, and if they comply with the policies that they will find into the platforms from the programs, from the Visma program, from Facebook program, from other programs, then they will comply with those. If there are some out of scope vulnerabilities, then they must not target those vulnerabilities. Also, of course, there could be some cases when some of the issues are well known and are in developing, but it takes a lot of sprints to be remediated.
Thank you for your presentation.